Hello everybody. Welcome to the 10th episode of the D20 Initiative second season, Pages and Mages. Tonight's episode is part 2 of The Eye of the Tiger. Now, before I get too much further, we would like to take a moment to recognize that the place we settlers now know as Calgary has a deep history and legacy of storytelling. In the spirit of respect and truth, we honor and acknowledge that we are telling stories in the traditional territories of the Blackfoot people, the Nakota people of the Stoney Nation, the Beaver people of the Tsuut'ina Nation, the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3, and all people who make their homes in the Treaty 7 territory of beautiful southern Alberta. Now, let me introduce you to our team of adventurers. Your heroic players tonight are Sarah Bannister as Zrill, Curt McKinstry as Ant, Calvin DiSilva as Ripley, and Justin Bourne as Girrardo. There they all are. Jen is your dungeon master tonight. Emma Brager is on sound. And my name is Alan, and I shall be your MC. Now, returning viewers know what is about to go down, but in case this is your first time, there will be times where we want you, the audience, to tell this story with us and have your hand in altering the very fate of our party. The world in which tonight's players are situated has some errant magic that sometimes affects them in unexpected ways, and we need 4 volunteers from the audience to represent that chaos. So if you're interested in volunteering, please type me or I will or something along those lines in the chat you are in right now. Now, while I'm waiting for volunteers to roll in, I'll explain how it works. So twisting our players' destinies is very simple to do. As a volunteer, all you have to do is choose the right moment and type squeak in the chat. And this is a little callback to our, this is a little callback to our roots at Dickens, back when we could gather in person, because we handed out small rubber chickens. Now keep in mind you can only squeak a maximum of 2 times tonight, once in each act. For the first act, our all-knowing DM Jen will let the audience know when squeaks can come into play. And the second act, it's all fair game. So your first squeak will trigger an entirely random effect. After the break in the second act, your squeak will trigger the same effect as before, so you can be strategic if you like. And I should also mention, not only are we granting you immense power over our PCs, but each night one of our volunteers will be randomly chosen to win a mini from our awesome partnership with Yeti Minis. Yay! And tonight's prize is an Elder Oblex Yeti Mini. So you can head over to YetiMinis.com at the intermission to check it out, and I'll announce the winner at the end of the show. So, I'm going to check in on the chat here. We already have a volunteer from Marcia. Looks like Ninja Space Pig is volunteering as well. Thank you, Ninja Space Pig. So I'm going to assign some of these. So Marcia will be squeaking for Zrill. I'm going to give Ninja Space Pig to Ant. And got Scout. Scout as well has volunteered. So Scout, you shall be squeaking for Ripley. Yeah. And we don't have a 4th right now, so I'll still allow some people to possibly volunteer, but if not, I'll squeak for him. And so Girrardo, you might be under my control tonight. We'll see. But yes, please, you still have time. If you want to volunteer, please let me know in the chat as soon as you can. Now, speaking of the chat, be sure to get in there. I'll be chatting with the folks all night. And if you're new and have questions, please ask away. If you have mostly supportive comments, we want to hear them. And we greatly encourage live tweeting with the hashtags Pages and Mages and D20 Initiative. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you have private questions or concerns, please contact us at d20initiative@gmail.com. If you enjoy the show, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Twitch channel, and you can even watch old episodes on our YouTube channel if you want to see how the adventurers got here so far. Alright, so, our story so far. There's a great library on each of the 2 different worlds of Forgotten Realms' Faerun and Eberron. These 2 libraries are linked by their secretive patrons, the Sphinx Lumen in Faerun's Candlekeep, and her brother Ptolemy of Eberron's Beaconhold. In an effort to hold back a dark, mysterious force that menaces both libraries, they have assembled a brave collection of bookmarked librarians. These agents of literacy have been gathered together and sent back and forth between the worlds, helping the Sphinxes fend off the growing, inexorable darkness. And I will now turn things over to our illustrious DM, Jen. Good luck, and onward, heroes.
Thank you, Alan.
Thanks, Alan.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So, our team of bookmarked librarians are currently in Candlekeep, the greatest library of Faerun, as we just heard, helping Lumen, the Tiger Sphinx, fight back an enemy force that we're calling the Erasure over here in Faerun. So far, the Erasure has taken the form of oozes, mists, and scramblers that have literally been destroying the words and written works in the deep, forgotten vaults of the library. Meanwhile, Candlekeep at large is unaware of the threat that has eaten away at the heart of the mountain beneath the towers of the library. Last episode, our heroes saved Candlekeep's master archivist, Mal Thodak, from certain death when during one of her archiving expeditions into the vaults, she came across a massive scrambler mound that almost consumed her. And pretty much almost killed all of you.
It's true.
But you managed. And however, evidence points to there being at least one bookmaster, not Mal Thodak, you checked her out, she seems okay, but one bookmaster appears to have been corrupted by the Erasure, and who is leading this invasion and destruction of the library. So the plan is to capture or defeat the corrupted bookmasters. To aid them, the Sphinx Lumen has created a magical amber monocle, the Eye of the Tiger, that can be focused to see the Erasure even when buried deep within a corrupted individual. Not sure who to trust, and not wanting to alert the masterminds of the invasion, the heroes have planned to surreptitiously observe the rest of the bookmasters and determine who has been corrupted. Luckily, most of Candlekeep's librarians are attending a magical beast combat demonstration at the Colosseum in Candlekeep today, which would provide you a chance to lay eyes on the half-dozen or so bookmasters of Candlekeep in the crowd. But the path is never easy. Not only have you been roughed up by your encounter with the Scrambler Mound, you have a librarian from a parallel universe with you from Eberron. Ripley of Beaconhold Library has just manifested in Kyler's place. And his presence you are either going to have to hide or account for somehow, because normally people like this don't get beyond the Emerald Gate into where you are in Candlekeep right now. So as you were about to cross the bridge to the entrance of the Colosseum, Ripley manifests, and you hear a voice calling out to you from the bridge saying, "Halt and deliver!" My friends' squeaks are now live. Tell me what you want to do, my friends.
Oh gosh, what? Where am I right now? Am I? I'm not in Eberron anymore, am I? Did that weird thing happen again?
You sure did.
No,
You're in
boy.
Candlekeep now.
Welcome.
Oh, excellent.
Welcome.
Wonderful. Oh, wow, so many new faces, and some I believe I recognize, sort of.
You met Ant and I. We
Yeah.
helped fight the big, the weird, like, squishy monsters, and then the metal monsters, and I took all the arms. It's good.
I do remember that.
What was
And your
right
dad?
here before? You look familiar.
Sure. It's like Geronimo. What's your name again?
That's close. It's Girrardo. I prefer
Right.
if you use the whole Girrardo.
Okay, I'll call
Yes.
you Jerry. It'll be fine.
Jerry,
might
that's
like
like a
Geronimo.
good one. I also like. We could call him Jerry Geronimo. Wait till we tell
Jerry
Jerry.
Geronimo.
Jerry's gonna be so excited.
Excellent.
Great.
Where are we, by the way?
Well, we're in Candlekeep. We're
Yes,
just
but
making
I
our
don't know
way.
if I've ever been to this part of the library.
Me neither. We're gonna go into the Colosseum. It's so exciting. They're gonna see like a really, really cool thing of all the bookmasters are gonna be there, and they're gonna show us all these cool magical weapons. And I'm so excited. I've been waiting to come here since I got to Candlekeep.
It sounds dangerous, honestly. What have you guys been up to? Why are we? What's your purpose here? What are we doing?
Well, we're looking into some of the bookmasters. We were kind of suspicious of a few of them, so we just want to keep an eye on them. And all the bookmasters are meeting to hear one of the bookmasters give a speech. So
Right.
we thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of see them all at the same time.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're just kind of like,
We're doing some reconnaissance.
okay, judging people from afar. I like it.
Mhm.
Heroes, which one of you has the Eye of the Tiger right now?
That would be me.
Okay, yeah.
We seem to give Ant all the important stuff to hold.
He can fly.
I'm an unassuming gnome.
So Ripley, what you see as you're looking around is, in addition to your companions there, is that you're about to cross a bridge, and it's crossing actually a quite pleasant canal that's full of lily pads with little frogs on them, and it's a stone bridge. And as it crosses over, there are banners that are like just sort of flapping in the late morning maritime breeze here at Candlekeep. And on the other side of the bridge, there's a great big sort of dark entrance that goes into a coliseum, kind of like the one behind me here. And you can see that it goes towards like some big doors, and you can just barely hear that there is a crowd inside that coliseum. And I mentioned that you heard a voice, and it calls again as your steps are on the bridge, and it says, "Halt and deliver!"
What is it that you require?
Who says that?
Girrardo, give me a perception check.
Okay. That's a 22.
All right, yeah, nice. You see that it is a banner. It's one of the banners on your right as you're coming up onto this bridge, and it is of a feminine halfling, like the tapestry, the banner, in plate armor, and she is astride a griffin. And you actually know this this tapestry. I mean, you've never heard this tapestry talk before, but you know that this is a banner commemorating the great paladin Plumbata. And she, every time she speaks, her little visor and gorget on her plate clap together, and she is clearly entreating you to halt. And she says, "I say, gentle friends, state your bona fides, else we shall be friends no longer. State your credentials as a hero, should you wish to enter the Colosseum."
Plumbata, it is me, Girrardo, and these people are with me. Let us through.
I am Ant,
but you
Artificer.
Well, of course you are. I mean, we're all librarians here, right? And so, but you must tell me what you have done to deserve entry into the Colosseum today. Because
Well,
only heroes will come in.
Boy.
Oh,
Confirm.
I
Oh, she
mean-
is a tapestry.
So, if I just walk past you, Plumbata, don't take it as offense. I try to just maneuver past her.
Well, then I will, of course. And she starts to, like, you can see her sort of turning in 2 dimensions around, and you start to see her manifest on the back of the banner, and she's looking down at a very intelligent looking frog. And it says, "Don't make me. I will call for help."
From the frog?
Yes, who will definitely hop very quickly to find out, to find me some help from probably the Department of Defense, and then you'll be in trouble.
Seems like a very long process. It might involve like.
But just tell me why you are heroes today.
we
Why
just
the
fought some
surprise?
really bad scramblers down in the depths of Candlekeep.
What is this scrambler?
Mm-hmm.
It's a really big, nasty conglomeration of
Yeah.
parts.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a slug-ish. But like big and very mean.
And it
And
was
some very dangerous mist.
And we saved some books, which seems heroic. especially at this library.
Saved lots of books.
We did.
And a bookmaster.
It's on her little plate. Yeah. Quack, 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 quack. She said, that is a very... Did all 4 of you do this deed?
Yes.
No, I just got here. I was I was on vacation, and now I'm here. So yeah, don't have any.
But it was a very heroic vacation.
It was a heroic vacation,
And
strangely enough.
We have fought with Ripley before, and he has proven his worth.
It's true. They can vouch for me.
Many
but,
of us.
Just so you know, on vacation I did save an entire monastery. So there you go. So
These are fine deeds indeed, she says, but, okay, this is the DM now asking Ripley, what are you wearing today? Just, she's gonna make a little bit of a judgment as to where you fit into the library here. So tell me what your outfit is like. What color is it in particular?
it's black. Ripley doesn't really have a lot of variations in his clothing. He is a priest. So yeah, it's just his casual priestly blacks. He's still got his collar on, and yes, and his red stole.
Okay, so you see Plumbata with her lance, and she's like, so, and she like it still is only 2 dimensions, just like how you see me on my screen right now. In fact, she like points. She says, "Of course I know Bookmaster Girrardo." Girrardo is probably wearing some shades of blue, and has, of course, the quarterman symbol of the quartermaster of Candlekeep on him, and Bookright Ant of Acquisitions.
Yes.
And you are clearly a novice, but I don't think we have met. What is your name?
My name is Zrill. I'm a novitiate, so I haven't really chosen yet. And I was thinking that I wanted to be with defense, but I mean, I've been spending more time with archives, and it seems really cool. So I might go with them, but I haven't chosen yet.
This is excellent. But you, Ripley, what department do you belong to? You are not attired as any Candlekeep librarian that I have ever seen. Have you made a gift of as a seeker to enter through the Emerald Gate?
Yes.
Well, yeah, sure, I have.
I feel like deception checks are. Girrardo and Ripley seem to be the hardest deceivers here, so you may either roll independently or one of you may roll with advantage.
I think I've got a pretty decent.
I'm pretty good at deception.
Okay.
It's kind of my jam.
Okay, why don't you go ahead, Girrardo?
Okay. Roll with advantage then?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good it's with advantage, because I got 21 and a natural 1.
Ooh.
So I'll stick with the 21.
She puts her lance aside, and she says, "Welcome to Candlekeep, Sir Ripley. Clearly you have made the appropriate gift of knowledge to come and learn here, and even to be trusted beyond the Court of Air, here into Candlekeep proper. Welcome, heroes, savior of monasteries, savior of books. Enter the Colosseum."
Thank you, Plumbata.
Thank you,
so
Plumbata.
much.
You've done great today. I will be sure to let Bookmaster Gordo know of your good deeds.
Excellent. So, as you come across the bridge, you see that the doors are closed, and there's yet one more layer of security, but this is easy enough for you. You see that there is a little like key kind of like impression built into the stone, sort of pressed into the mortar there, that you need to put the symbol of the library, like either a quarter moon for those in the quartermaster's service, or the quartermaster himself, or the candle or flame of the novices and the bookrights, or even a full sun for a bookmaster. So you are able to enter the door for your party there. Any Candlekeeper can do so.
I think I run forward. I don't get to use mine very much, so.
You have so much energy after all those stairs. Oh.
I just gotta think positive.
And so the doors open for you, and it's when was the last time you guys were at the Stampede and going into the grandstand? Like when you go like underneath the stands, and it's kind of cool and dark, but smells like popcorn and beer and hay and dirt and all that kind of thing. It's a little bit like that.
This never gets old.
Yeah.
Greetings, friends.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
We have a squeak. We have our first squeak of the night, and it was from our last assigned volunteer who took over my role as Girrardo's squeaker, Jason. So, Girrardo, some errant magic will be occurring to you if you'll please roll yourself a D20.
Yes. And I rolled a 17.
17. So, you feel the magic of your bookmark, and suddenly, you get hair on your chest. Also, you wonder if a creature nearby might consent to a hug. Onward, heroes.
I feel like hugging someone for the first time in my life.
I've always wanted to hug you, Girrardo.
Same, I just don't.
Come in here, Ant.
I'm coming. I've been waiting a long time for this.
Oh my. This is weird.
Girrardo, remind me, like when you feel the magic of the bookmark, how? I mean, now obviously you're growing hair and you feel like you need to hug somebody, but how does your bookmark usually manifest?
I have 3 scales along my neckline that have gone silver.
I imagine that might be the source of this fur now, sort of, gently flowing. And as a dragonborn, I don't know that you really, you're not really a mammal, so that's also an interesting thing that's happening, is growing hair.
How do you people have this stuff? It's weird.
You hug Ant?
Yeah.
Yes. And you feel like you've got the bear's endurance now.
Oh. See? Doesn't that feel better, Girrardo?
I feel the same and a little fuzzy.
You also
But
gain.
he's good.
So Ant, just to remember, I'll let you know that it's going to give you advantage on Constitution checks,
Excellent.
and you get 1d6 temporary hit points.
Oh, that's very helpful at this point. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll let whichever one of you wants to roll that. Who wants the pleasure?
Maybe Girrardo should, because it's his magical.
Sure.
A D6, you said?
Yeah.
Yep.
You can have all 6 of them.
Oh, I feel like a bear through and through.
Excellent. Okay. So, as we were saying, you're just coming underneath the stands. And one of the things actually that you noticed when you were even outside the Coliseum is that there's like a dome over top, like some of our fancy domed stadiums these days. But this one is made of like jeweled stained glass. There's a lot of stained glass in Candlekeep, and
Beautiful.
this one has the same. So as you come through, I will also point out that just like you sort of come, you're coming through the center, and then you'll go off and sort of up a little bit to the left to sort of enter the stands. But just before you turn, like what appears to be like the interior wall of the arena there, most of you, with your excellent passive perceptions, except for Ant, see that there is a door kind of like in the dark against that interior wall of the arena, as though you could open this and then go down underneath the arena. And Girrardo, you've heard before that there are like tunnels beneath the arena here, and that sort of gets you access to parts of the arena that sometimes normally you can't get to. So you see that there is that door there. But as you sort of come up and look across at the stands and the arena proper, you see under this jeweled glass dome, resplendent in their flame colors, as the librarians of Candlekeep like to wear yellow for novitiates, orange for the bookrights, and the few bookmasters that there are usually wear red, and then in the blue shades for those who are sort of in operations, the quartermaster folks. There's a couple hundred librarians, mostly bookrights, so it's mostly an orange flaming cloud, with a couple dozen novitiates that you can see out there, and the smattering of support staff in blue and silver. So you also see that some of those that are dressed in blue are working the crowd, selling beverages and snacks, and there is a small band kind of just like at the base of the stands up against the arena, where there's a little platform, and they are playing some lovely tunes. I don't know what you would like to hear. A sea shanty, perhaps?
Always game for a sea shanty.
Something about, tea, rum.
Yes, all of
Rums. Yes.
Something about fighting, maybe, or where we are.
Yeah. So they're playing some lovely tunes. Now, tell me, are you going to go and head up into the stands, or do you have any other ideas of what you'd like to do right now?
I think we should. I think we should just go and sit, and then maybe we'll use the eye of the tiger, and we'll see what we can see from far away.
I agree. I have to say, though, I feel a bit awkward that we're not wearing our robes. I feel out of place. I don't have my orange robe on.
Not everybody is, but you're right. This is like
odd.
It's like a school event. Usually you put on your colors. Yeah.
You should just always wear your robes like I do. It cuts down on that awkwardness.
I haven't quite got into that habit yet.
Girrardo would like to grab, now that he's heard about some rum in a sea shanty, he maybe would see if there's a rum at one of the food vendors.
Excellent. Yeah. So you head in, and it's easy enough to find a place to sit and to hail one of the food vendors down. And if you sit down and listen to these tunes for a little bit, you will get a 1d8 healing as a modified song of rest.
Oh,
Yay!
I've never enjoyed a sea shanty so much.
Well, sadly, you only rolled a 2, my friends.
Oh.
Oh, we don't get to roll it? Okay.
Did you say
I'm sorry. You guys look to be in really rough shape. What happened before you got here?
Well, like we said, just before you arrived, we were in quite a serious combat situation where we fought off this huge slug-like creature and some mist.
Are we in like a crowd right now, or are we kind of off by ourselves?
How would you like to seat yourselves?
I think
Both options are there.
Okay, I'd say off by ourselves, so we can talk about these things that we've been told us not to talk to anyone about.
I would add to that. I think we should try to find a location that gives us good eyes on all the bookmasters.
Well, maybe what I'll have you do to see how good your positioning ends up being is for you to give me a survival check. To give you some good prospect and refuge.
All of us?
We'll let either two of you or one person lead the charge with advantage. The survival charge.
Anyone particularly good at surviving?
Not real good at that.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm just blanking on who made the request.
It was me. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Should I do it with that? Do I get advantage, or is it just?
Yeah, because everybody's kind of helping you out.
Okay.
We're all looking for the sweet spot.
Yeah. That would be a 16.
All right, so yeah, you see that you can kind of, you get up to about row 20 or so. There's not a lot of people there. Your sightlines, though, were really good, but you notice that for whatever reason, maybe because it's a little bit cooler, there's a breeze there, and people are not quite as comfortable with it, but you are fine. So you guys find a spot that nobody seems within earshot, and you can get a pretty good view of all of the crowd. And so I'll let you guys were having a conversation. I'll let you finish that conversation before we. Let me know.
Yeah, I was just explaining to Ripley about our combat situation down in the depths of Candlekeep there, with the Scrambler and the Mist.
Oh,
We got pretty beat up in the process, I have to say.
That sounds awful. Well, you know, Ilmater says that suffering happens for a reason, and I do a little bit of preaching about it. So just really quickly here, I'm gonna cast some Beacon of Hope on you guys, and I realize you're not gonna gain any hit points, but maybe somewhere down the line, you'll gain some hit points from.
Can you cast Beacon of Hope on everybody?
Yeah, it's a range of 30 feet.
Yeah, but is it one target?
What if we all like?
It's any number of creatures within range.
Oh wow!
Ant and I are still hugging.
Yeah. And now that we've suffered through that speech that you just gave, I look forward to the Beacon of Hope.
Ilmater's pretty long-winded these days.
It's just advantage on Wisdom saving throws and Death saving throws, and regain maximum number of hit points from any future healing.
Well, you know what? Give yourselves then, because you're still listening to the band. They are still playing their Song of Rest, and so you would get maximum healing from that. So that's another 6. So you get your maximum of 8 from the Song of Rest because of Beacon of Hope.
This song is so good.
The best song.
It just gives me a warm feeling inside.
As it heads up, though, Beacon of Hope lasts a minute.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you got to die in the next minute. Anyway, so
You'll probably make that happen.
Yeah.
All right. So as you look around the crowd, I'll include that in sort of like your survival check that got you this good vantage point. You notice that they're kind of in some ways easy to pick up because there are, if you include Girrardo as quartermaster, there are 7 bookmasters in Candlekeep. One of them you can tell right away is the head librarian, Smo Spiderwisk, and she is seated actually in a box seat. So at the far end of the, as you sort of entered, you came from like the top of an oval, and she's at the far end of the oval from you on like a platform. No obvious way that she gets to that platform. It's just there at the edge of the arena. So she is there, sort of waiting for the demonstration to begin. You don't see Master Girrardo, head of defense, anywhere. You imagine he must be about to come out. But you can see that the other bookmasters are all there. We see that Bookmaster Irani Soka, who is the head of acquisitions, so Ant's boss. She's sort of seated by herself on the edge of the crowd, kind of like you guys are, but higher up. And then you also see that the other bookmaster that you're sort of familiar with, he is Bookmaster Takati, who is head of translation. So that's Derry, who's not with you at the moment. Maybe that's good because he and Derry don't get along that well. Yeah. But Takati is generally very popular, and he is seated amongst like quite a crowd. Actually, you can see that they are listening to him. He seems to be talking about something. And seated beside him is a bookmaster that you probably see the most rarely. Her name is Bookmaster Briar, and she is a fawn, and she is the bookmaster of the interior, so sort of in charge of grounds and animals and infrastructure. So she is there seated by Takati. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna reach in underneath my robes and pull out the Eye of the Tiger, and I'm gonna have a look at Schmo Spiderwick and see what I see.
So you can certainly try, and she is currently about 600 feet or 200 meters
Oh,
away
wow,
from
okay.
you at the moment. So she's just this tiny little gnome. She's a gnomish woman, and with like bright white hair, kind of like a meringue on her head. But you're much too far away to see if there's any corruption or erasure at work there.
Right.
And in fact, as you do that, you realize you have to sort of see the whites of somebody's eyes, right, for that to work. And you're at least 50 feet away from the closest of these bookmasters. So you're gonna
Which
have
is
to get
who?
a little closer.
Who is the closest?
I would say the closest to you right now is Arani Soka, so the bookmaster of acquisitions. Master Soka.
Like close enough that we could engage in conversation. With
You'd have to get up and get closer to her. You're about 50 feet away. That would be a very awkward conversation. It'd be sort of a shouted one.
As we think of what to do, just before the 1 minute runs out on the Beacon of Hope, can I use a second wind spell? Or a second wind?
Yes, you think you could.
Okay. I'm gonna do that while we're discussing. I feel a little better. It's been a rough
That's good
day.
gaming there.
And
Yes.
why don't I go engage in conversation with Bookmaster Soka, and that will I'll get them to turn towards you so that you can see them.
Yeah, I could probably scoot down a little closer too, and try to mingle with the crowd, and maybe just get into a position where I'm not noticed, but can still use the eye of the tiger.
Google tells me that in order to see somebody's whites of their eyes, that you'd have to be like 20 to 15 feet. Maybe I give you a little bit of so.
Can I see anywhere that might be a possible situation?
Well, I mean, you could attempt to stealth, and I mean, then you could like hide amongst the crowd and the seats and things like that, and sort of make your way there. If you were just going to like walk over and then sit closer, she would see you come and walk over and sit closer.
What if, seeing as
stands.
you're a bit more stealthy there, Girrardo, what if I were to give you the eye of the tiger, and I go have a chat with Arani?
This seems like it could potentially work.
And in fact, she is my bookmaster, so I'm sure I can find something to quickly chat with her about before we get started here.
Right? How could I forget? Something feels off these days.
It's all good. Here, you take this.
All right.
Do you remember how to use it?
Look into it and look at their eyes.
Yes, correct.
Great.
All right. Good luck. Here I go.
Ripley and I stay, I guess.
And I kind of lean into Zrill, and I'm like, what are they doing?
I think I got it under control. I think.
All right.
So Girrardo, you are stealthing through the crowds.
Yes.
That's what's happening. So
yes,
roll me
I'm going to try and like use the crowd like I am drinking my rum, and going to just try and blend in as much as my giant dragonborn body can blend in.
I was going to say, as the quartermaster, of course, the hospitality staff, you do not pay for your drink. That's
cheers.
All right.
Zrill gets an idea the last minute.
Check.
Sorry, Zrill gets an idea the last minute. It might be good if Ripley and her actually go with Ant as like an additional distraction. So she grabs Ripley and runs over to Ant.
Oh, okay, excellent.
This is working.
Excellent. Okay, Girrardo, your stealth check, please.
Oof, that's not great. That's a 10.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you are big, and there's a sort of narrow stands, and as you're sort of moving, like there's that little ripple of like people like as you walk in, and then you sort of like there's a little structural like pillar, and you sort of lean against it nonchalantly, hoping, but She doesn't really notice. And meanwhile, Aunt, Zrill, and Ripley approached Bookmaster Soka. So you see she's a middle-aged human woman with feminine features, light brown skin, long curly black hair just beginning to silver at her temples, which she wears in a low ponytail. She dresses very well. She wears red and pink silk gowns and the son of the bookmaster and a pendant around her neck. And what happens as you approach?
Well, have, of course, a squeak from our friend Ninja Space Pig, which is Ants.
Yep.
Ant Squeaker, so we need a roll from you, my friend.
Perfect timing. That is a 17.
Well, we had that already, so
Wow.
how about we roll again?
I'll roll again.
You don't want a hook? A hug?
I
Everyone rolls a 17 tonight.
rolled a 9 this time.
A 9, all right.
Lucky number 9.
Well, Ant,
Uh-oh.
you feel your bookmark, the magic of your bookmark, flow through you, and suddenly there's a swarm of iridescent beetles pouring out from under your robes.
Oh, boy.
They're tiny squeaks demanding you choose a target creature within 30 feet of you. Onward, heroes.
Oh,
Does that count as a distraction?
yes, yes, it does. I feel like I'm going to let you do another roll on your stealth because of this excellent distraction that's happening. Let's do that.
Okay. It's a little bit better. It's a 13.
Okay, all right. You sort of, like suavely go around the pillar and find a nice shadier spot. Okay, but Ant, they demand that you choose a target creature. You gotta pick one within 30 feet of you. So within 30 feet of you are your companions, Zrill and Ripley. There is Bookmaster Soka. As we mentioned, she is at the edge of the crowd, but there are a couple innocent bookrights that are also within 30 feet of you.
All right, and I have no idea what these iridescent beetles do, correct?
No, you wouldn't. You feel that, like, I think you would feel that they're not great, but they're going to go to somebody and be beetles at them.
All right, I'll choose one of the sort of other individuals that's next to Bookmaster Soka and have it target them.
Okay.
And as it's happening, I'm gonna rush over to Bookmaster Soka and I'm gonna be like, Bookmaster Soka, watch out!
And okay, all right.
And use that as a tool to try to get Bookmaster Soka to look at Girrardo.
Nice. Not to look at her. Oh, well, I see.
So he can
sort of right. Yes. Not notice him.
There we go. Just like that.
Okay. So I feel like we have not really thought of the impacts of our squeaks in very social situations. Anyway, okay. So as you do that, I will need a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Oh, I'm good at those. That'd be 18.
Okay, nice. So she does not blame you for this little tide of iridescent beetles that are like now. So I mean, she says, "Aunt, where did those come from?" And you see this little swarm head towards a bookright. We'll say he's a translator, and they have to give a Constitution saving throw, which they fail.
Dear.
The beetles go like swarming up their legs, and he stands up. He's like, what's happening? What's happening? And he sort of peels them off his legs, and you can see them like he's got now like a bunch of little bites, and he's like, whoa! And his companion stands up and is like, Terry, it's all right. It's like, what is this place coming to? And they're like, have you seen the vermin that are like infesting this place? And they stand up in high dudgeon, and I will just roll an insight check for them. And they just like, they clear it off, and his companion says, we just got to get some rum for you. I think that's all that we need. And, we'll just take it easy over here in the shade. And they move to a slightly shadier part of the stadium. And thankfully, it all seems to have calmed down. But while that was happening, indeed, Bookmaster Soka looks sort of towards Ant, and it gives you a good line of sight on checking her out by the whites of her eyes. And thankfully, you do just see whites of her eyes. She's got warm brown eyes, clear whites, and you don't see any evidence of the erasure. In the meantime, however, Bookmaster Soka is now sort of thanking Ant, and turns and says to Zrill, she says, right. Well, so, Acquisitor Amakiir, I am very thankful. Novitiate Zrill, both of you, hard to forget after the state of my Raven's Tower, after your last visit, and here you are again. Nothing is easy around you, is it? But you, she looks at Ripley, we haven't met, have we?
No, I don't think so. I'm new here. I'm actually just I'm on an internship, so I'm kind of I've been charged with shadowing Zrill and Ant. They're kind of showing me the ropes, apparently this is all the rage, this conference thing, so really excited to be here. Who are you, madam?
I am Bookmaster Arani Soka. I am head of acquisitions. I'm curious to know if you are indeed interning. Why would my bookright aunt be showing you around if you haven't been assigned to acquisitions? And if you have been assigned to acquisitions, why didn't they tell me?
I think it has more to do with me. Girrardo says that I keep getting into trouble, and I keep getting I sometimes get into fights with people that I maybe shouldn't get into fights with. So they thought that sending a cleric with me would be a good idea.
He's
Roll a
also
deception check.
Oh no.
Is Girrardo at all able to hear any of this?
You can hear it, sure. You have
Okay.
to do close enough to see. You can hear it.
Okay.
That's a whole 6.
He also has a set of. He says he has a line on a set of very ancient scrolls that he's discovered up just outside of Baldur's Gate that are of some interest to me.
Yes,
so I thought that I keep
does
him
sound like the
close.
scrolls you were investigating most recently for those seekers. All right.
Yes, that's correct.
She looks at you, Ripley, and she says, "Look, the Ravens haven't seen anyone like you come through the Emerald Gate. But," she says, "you really got a line on some scrolls like that?"
Yeah. I mean, of course. They're fascinating. They're just beautiful, intricate pieces of history, poetry, historical poetry in scroll
Excuse
form.
me, Your Excellency, Mr. Creed. We were discussing earlier some interesting. Oh God.
I mean, you're welcome to finish your thought, of course, but we definitely have another squeak coming our way, and this is by our friend Scout, which means Ripley is getting something going on. So roll me a d20, my friend.
Well timed.
It's an 18.
18. So, you feel your bookmark magic begin to take hold as your index finger extends into a whip of thorns. And you have an irresistible urge to choose a target creature within 30 feet of you. So, beetles, thorns, alright, good luck.
Please make it the poor person who had the beetles on them.
Onward, heroes.
Okay. Well, first off, my bookmark is
Oh, no.
just an overwhelming sense of nausea. So I'm going to start dry heaving. And you see this bright light emanating from my mouth every time I dry heave. I'm just kind of like,
I have
so sorry,
heard this about the clerics of Ilmater.
yep,
Yeah,
it's just very strange. And then
all the time.
and this is when like the thorns start whipping out of my fingers. And I guess I'm gonna have to pick the poor dude who got the beetles on him.
Okay. Terry, the translator, really thought that he had
a bad day.
a nice place to recover, a nice cup of rum. So make a melee spell attack roll, in fact. So you roll a 1d20, no modifiers.
Oh, okay. It's a 4.
Okay. So that thankfully is a miss.
Okay.
Because otherwise you would have pulled him closer to you. Okay. So yeah, so this thorn whip but you know what the thorn whip does? It totally gets his rum and pulls it out of his hand. He's like, Did you see that? And his companion is like, just settle down. What? You spilled it. Hey, and starts to call for another round. How are you going to explain that to Bookmaster Soka, though?
Oh gosh.
Your Excellency, we were getting you to the infirmary, were we not? You were not feeling well.
Yes. Sorry, it's been a long journey to get here. And
Quartermaster, are you in charge of this?
Yes, I did not choose this, but due to some unfortunate circumstances, I have taken charge of the visiting priest of Ilmater, who is very modest about his position within the church for some unknown reason, and he was not feeling well, so I was showing him to the infirmary.
All right, roll a deception check with advantage.
While this is happening, can I be trying to get Girrardo's attention just to be like, well, like, is she okay?
I'll give him the thumbs up with my deception of 9.
All right. Let me see what her insight is. She did, and she's gonna roll. She's gonna roll because now she's suspicious. So.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
As soon as I see Girrardo give me that like thumbs up, though, I mean like, Bookmaster Soka, I'm terribly sorry to have tried to deceive you, but well, Zrill and Girrardo and Ripley here, we've uncovered some very interesting information down in the depths of Candlekeep, and we weren't sure.
Now she's intrigued.
We weren't sure if we could actually trust you or not, and that led to the deception. We have come into the information that one of the Bookmasters has been corrupted. Now, we have been given this little instrument here. It's called the Eye of the Tiger. It allows us to see which of the Bookmasters has been tainted. Now, we were able to just, well, decipher that you're not the particular Bookmaster that's tainted, thank goodness. But hopefully you understand and forgive our deception.
Well, Bookright Aunt. In acquisitions, sometimes we are called upon to use our powers of deception, as you know, especially when we are out there in the real world. And I can see that we have our work cut out for us, don't we?
Yes.
I do appreciate you telling me the truth and bringing me into your circle of trust. You can see she just eats this kind of stuff up. Oh my goodness, you have... So, she's like, all right, look. The demonstration's about to begin. We should definitely watch it. I am here for you. We're going to figure this out. And as soon as the demonstration is over, I can show you how to get up to see Smo. All right? We can go and make sure, first of all, that she's okay. And if this is what's happening, we need her. We need her help.
Indeed.
All right. All right, so stay with me.
All right.
So stay with me right here. Okay, and as she says that, the band does complete with a flourish, and you see that there is activity happening down below. 2 trapdoors in the red earth of the arena open up, and lifts appear from below. And standing on one is a very flashy goblin man in a red and gold cape, bright blue glasses. He's got peach skin and ruddy cheeks, a receding hairline, and huge mutton chops. He is gesticulating wildly, like a DM that we know. And standing on the other is a very large animal with 3 heads and wings. And at this point, the crowd goes crazy. They cheer, and the creature who has the head of a lion, a dragon, and a goat growls. Do you guys do anything differently at this point? Or are you just standing or just seated beside Arani Soka?
How far are we seated from like where the edge of the seats would be?
So remember, she's like fairly far up and at the edge. So I'd say there's like about, honestly, 80 feet between you and the arena, and they're well out in the arena, and the arena is like size of a big stadium. So they are a couple 100 feet away from you.
I was just wondering if I could like run to the edge and like lean on the railing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I do that. Sprint down the stairs.
I would like to try and toss the eye of the tiger in her pocket as she runs by. You may as well have it with you.
Don't lose it.
Oh, well. Oh, God.
Oh no.
Not good.
Hello.
Cinderblock feet again, isn't it?
Yes, we have our final speak from Marcia.
Cinderblock feet.
Which means, Zrill, you need to give me a D20 roll and see what magic craziness occurs this time.
Well, have we had a 10 yet there?
No, so we do now. So you feel your magic take over, your bookmark magic take over your body, and suddenly an eye appears on your forehead. And you have the strange urge to make triangle shapes with your hands. Onward, heroes.
Okay. So
Does
my
this make you want to do anything in particular, Zrill? I'm not going to give you any more information because that would spoil surprises, but...
well, my hair catches on fire, or turns into fire, so I know something's going on. So, something's going on. Girrardo, were you trying to throw me a thing? I'm also trying to run down the stairs. There's a lot happening.
It went poorly.
Oh, no.
What was your sleight of hand check?
That was a 9.
Oh,
I'm
God.
really good at them, too.
So, ding, 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 ding.
Oh no!
The eye of the tiger goes rolling down the stairs and rolls off into the crowd.
Oh
No.
gosh, was that important? Should we probably go get that?
Bookmaster Soka, I have to go retrieve the eye of the tiger.
Zrill, roll me a perception check, actually. You were probably the closest to where this was happening, and then we'll resolve what's happening with you, Ant.
14.
Roll it again, because you have advantage.
Oh. Over 16.
So you take your best one, and you see where the eye has rolled, and it is, of course, our friend Terry of Translation, who is just looking down and sees what, and he's about to reach for it. And you get up, and you are also on the move.
But at that moment, when I see Terry go to reach for it, I just have this urge to make a triangle, so I just make one. I don't know why. I'm calling it Terry.
He's like, what? Did you see? Look what I found! And he reaches down and he picks up the monocle, and he's got it. And he's like, what was the triangle symbol about? I'm having a day here, so just tell me, okay?
No, I had the urge. Do you ever just want to like make shapes? I feel like triangle's probably the easiest. And then she like mumbles to herself and like moves away a little bit. Wondering why she wanted to do this so much.
You feel like you can really see things really well right now.
I can?
You can, yeah.
Oh. Well, it seems like you've had a rough day. I don't know. I was over there. There were bugs or something, and then your beer. And I mean, I have a friend who might be able to get you a couple of. Oh, I'm sorry, your rum. I have a friend who might be able to get you a couple of free rums if you'd like.
Cool. It's a couple free rums. Cool. Clearly magical. Monocle. This day is looking up. All right. At this point, swooping straight up from the arena, there is this mass of leathery black wings streaking skyward and then arcs towards the goblin. 3 heads trained on this small target. I mean, you guys are having your own drama, but most of the crowd is watching this, and they gasp. Master Flash Girrardo draws a longsword and yells a challenge at the Chimera. It's in Draconic, so I believe that several of you can understand it. It's Girrardo and Zrill speaking. And Ant. Nope, sorry, just Girrardo and Zrill. You hear him say in Draconic, "A goat's head? What are you gonna do? Bleat me to death?" And makes a very intimidating stance. The Chimera dives, getting quite close to Girrardo before the red dragon head roars a furnace full of flame. That's where we'll stop that scene, and we'll deal with what's happening now. So Terry of Translation has put the monocle into his pouch, and he's looking expectantly at Zrill to get him a couple rounds of rum. Ant has stood up. It's making Bookmaster Soka a little nervous that you are leaving her sight, but nevertheless, she believes that you are doing the best for the cause. And so, Ant, you are also kind of coming on close, and I imagine, Ripley, you're just staying seated, or is there something else you want to do?
Gosh, okay. Boy. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll walk on down to where Zrill is. She's still talking to Terry, or she's still beside Terry. So I'm gonna walk on down to where Zrill is, and I'll be like, Zrill, did you find my monocle? I need that to see. I'm completely blind without it, and it would be so cruel if I didn't have it, to see anything.
Yeah, I thought I like take his arm and like put it on my arm to like guide him in case he's gonna fall. And I'd be like, I was looking for it. I thought it rolled over this way, but I saw this gentleman, and he just seemed like he was having a rough day. So I thought I would try to be like really nice to him. And I don't know. Sir, have you seen this?
Okay, all right. Look, Sis Terry, you get me another 2 rounds of rum. I'll give you this monocle, and your friend can have it back.
Zrill sticks out her hand, shakes Terry's hand, and goes, "Deal!" And then runs up to, starts running, and then realizes she has to guide Ripley up to Girrardo. Girrardo, we need 2 rums. We need 2 rums for Terry.
On it.
Okay.
I'll, am I close to him now? Like, okay. I point my finger at him and I cast message. And in his mind, I say, pay no attention to the initiative and her friend. The object you have is extremely dangerous. That's why I'm speaking to you in your mind. It is a cursed object. Please, quickly put it into the sack. And I hold it in a little leather bag. I know what to do with it. I'm an inquisitor, an acquisitionist. I put it in the bag. Quickly.
Oh, you inquisitors in your edgy ways. Okay, and
I seal it and I like put it inside him, and then I speak to him in like verbally, and I say, oh, "You have no idea what you had in your possession just now. Be thankful that you gave it to me. It was the right thing to do."
I don't know who to believe anymore. It's like, okay, you still owe me the 2 rums, and we just won't talk about this anymore. All right?
Oh,
This
absolutely.
is not how we do things in translation.
Yeah, absolutely. And watch out for little bugs. They're everywhere. And I walk away.
Okay. All right.
Zrill
All right,
gets the rums from Girrardo and goes on over to Terry.
All right.
Here you go.
So you've managed to.
Can I have the thing now?
Terry.
My friend's monocle so he can see?
Bring me another 2 rums and I'll give it to you.
No. We shook on this.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Look, then he points out, and he's like, the Inquisitor, and he's like, yeah, Inquisitors, like you know how to.
Yeah.
Right? He's got it.
Okay.
So I hope he gives it, your cursed eyepiece back to you, buddy. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
At this point,
so
enjoy the
needed to
show.
say, thank you.
We run away. I sit back in my seat. It seems safer here.
This went poorly. That fog. Oh,
Master
that fog.
Flash at this point is attempting to tumble out of the way of this like cone of flame that's coming out of the Chimera's dragon head. He's a fraction of a second too slow. Just as the flames blacken his chainmail, suddenly you see a second version of the goblin of Master Flash, as though made of billowing gray smoke, appear 15 feet above him, right beside the dragon's head. The lion's head snaps at the goblin, tearing at his shoulder, blood darkening the master's cloak. The great paws also unsheathed like knives, but the fighter's chainmail turns them. You can see at the box seat that head librarian Smo is on her feet, concern etched on every feature. Flash waves away the concern of the crowd. Master Girrardo takes 2 mighty swings with his longsword, and yet up in the air beside the dragon's head you see the gray smoke version of him do the same, as the chimera roars in frustrated pain and confusion. And then the bright red and gold of the real Flash exchanges places with the smoking shadow, drops onto the back of the chimera. All right, anything else you'd like to do up in the stands while this is happening?
No.
Watching enthralled.
Can I try and start a wave?
Excellent. Yes, please do. Roll a persuasion check.
And is it possible to get closer to another one of the Bookmasters while all of this is happening?
I rolled a 15.
Nice. You totally do. I mean, it
Yay.
takes like 1 round before it's really going. But like all the Candlekeep librarians are picking up your lead there, Beacon Holder. Nicely done.
Girrardo,
All right, and
come with me. Let's go see if we can get closer to one of the other Bookmasters.
All right, very good.
Zrill,
So the
Ripley, keep making distractions.
Sure. I mean, I got a wave going, so...
you've
Zrill-
got the wave going. That's
Yeah.
great.
Zrill doesn't even hear him. She's so enthralled with what's happening.
All right, you see the only other bookmasters in the stands are Briar and Takati. They are seated together in the midst of waving crowds, but you can see that Takati is still sort of like talking about something. Every once in a while he stands up, but he's still talking. And he's got masculine elvish features. He's a bit tall for an elf. He's got warm brown skin, dark brown eyes. His black hair he wears in short dreadlocks. He wears the bright red robes and the symbol of the full sun of a bookmaster. He's always got like ink-stained hands. Beside him is Briar. As I mentioned, she's a fawn. She wears tough red leather armor and trousers that cover to her knees, and then her legs. Below that, you can see the terracotta fur with white spots and bright black hooves. She has tawny beige skin, and 2 antlers arise from her wide forehead. She is the only one that is outwardly armed. She wears a long bow and quiver. All right, so you want to just go in there? Do you want to make a plan? What would you like to do?
What were you thinking, Ant?
Why don't you like flee from me and I'll be chasing you, and as I go by I can have the monocle in my eye and be like, excuse me, I'm trying to capture this guy, and I'll look at their faces.
You know that I know them though, right?
There is that, isn't there?
Like they're colleagues of mine and yours.
Yeah.
Be weird that you and I would be maybe playing tag at an event like this. But I mean, I've seen worse ideas. Maybe we could get Terry to run.
Are they close enough that I hear this? Or have they walked away from us? Okay.
Yeah.
Just get him some rum. She just wants them to stop. I just want you to stop talking so I can pay attention. Just get the rums.
How about I get those bookmasters some rum, and when I present it to them, you take a look at their eyes.
Oh, I like that idea. That's way better than my idea.
It seems maybe a little simpler, and with my limp and my lack of leg, I just really don't feel like running right now. We did all those stairs a few minutes ago. I'm exhausted.
I just always lean towards the more dramatic. I can't help it.
That's what I like about you, Ant. I'm having weird feelings today.
Did you just say you like me?
I said I liked something about you. Let's not get out of control.
I heard it. You heard it too, didn't you, Zrill?
Yeah, go.
Okay, I'm gonna go get. I'll go get a couple more big rums. The hard to like a little bit too big for your hand. Like it's uncomfortable to sort of like. Yeah.
Yeah. You sort of for this sort of special treatment, you track down kind of the head hospitality. He's male dwarf, older. He's got this long, lovely beard, and his eyebrows are like groomed back into his hair. His name is Hammond. He knows you well, and he's like, "Of course, let me please give you yes. Who are you? Who is going to enjoy the big gulps?"
Oh, they're for some of the bookmasters. It's an old bookmaster tradition, you know.
I mean, I know they have probably seen a chimera fight many a time. So yes, anything for yes. All right. So you have some nice big rums. As you approach Takati and Briar, a wave goes by. You hear Takati say, "I want to be proud of the CK edition of Comprehend Languages. The only way to create the best version of that spell is through continued connection and honoring living languages without resorting to magic, but through true literacy. Recently, perturbations in the weave have led me to believe that there have been significant linguistic shifts amongst the Eladrin of the Feywild." Oh, Girrardo!
Sorry. Sorry. Would you like these rums? I just had a couple extra for some reason.
I think that's an excellent idea, my fellow. Certainly, Briar I have been trying to convince Briar that she should lead an expedition to the Feywild, and I think that nothing other than, those look like Hammond's special big gulps. Is that correct?
They are, and I believe that there's some Feywild ancestry to this rum, so, have that.
how apropos. They are, Briar's like, yeah, cool. She's like, chill, right on.
Briar, tell me more about this journey. And I try and get her to make eye contact with me.
Sure.
Okay. So at this point, we'll let you do perception checks with advantage to see if, during all the waving and the crowds of students around them, if you can get a good look at them as they discuss things with Girrardo.
Ooh, a 17.
Nice. Okay. Briar's totally clear. You're gonna need to check again, I think, to get a beat on to Caddy. Briar says, well, yeah, it's been a long time since I've been back to the Feywild. She looks up, she's like, dope, yeah, take that creature down. She's sort of looking up at Flashgardo, she's kind of interested. I deeply dig that shadow move that Flash just got going on. Anyway, yeah, sure, Feywild, man, things are pretty quiet around here, so sure.
Yeah, seems like a nice...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, seems like a nice journey.
Ant, give me a perception check.
With advantage?
Yeah.
Again? A 19.
Okay, yeah, you can see that Takati is also clear.
Okay.
All right, Ripley, is there anything that you would like to be doing here?
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty engrossed in the game as well. So I feel like I'm barely even paying attention to what Girrardo and Ant are doing.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we, since you were paying such close attention to what's going on with Flash Gordo and the Chimera fight, give me a nature or arcana check, your choice.
I think. Let's go with nature, and this is a. Oh, great! It's a 5.
Okay.
I'm also in group. Should I?
Sure, Zrill, yeah. You guys are like the kids at the Stampede who are always looking at the rodeo and things, yeah.
17.
Okay.
Arcana.
All right. So Zrill, you can fill Ripley in if you want, as you're both sort of watching the combat out in the arena there. That is not a real chimera. There's something off about it. And also, that the kind of fighting that Flash Gordo is doing is the School of the Echo Knight. So you are aware of both of those things. I'm not sure exactly what's up with that chimera, but it's just moving not entirely like a natural creature.
No, I've heard a lot of rumors about these fights. I've heard that it's all fake, that they kind of like pull their punches or something.
Well,
that can't be true, is it?
I mean, I've never been to one before, and it's very exciting. And I mean, I'm very impressed. But have you seen a lot of chimeras do they have those?
Can't say I have. Is that the person over there?
Yeah. Just give me a second.
Sure.
You're disappearing.
Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry, too much rum. I don't know. It does something about it. How it's hooped by a goat, and it doesn't seem to be. One sec, and I turn to Irani, and I just tug on her sleeve a little bit. I go, excuse me, Bookmaster Soka. Have you seen a lot of chimeras in your days? It's just my first one, and I'm just wondering, do they all look just like that?
Yes. She decides to say. So at the moment, Master Girrardo has dropped onto the back of the Chimera, and he's riding the bucking Chimera across the arena. And he reaches forward at this moment into the base of each head and very carefully pops a glowing arcane disc out of the head. And as it does, one head drops, and then the next drops, and finally the last drops, and the creature drops to earth. And you hear Master Girrardo. He's clearly got some sort of amplifying device. Well now, obviously a real chimera doesn't have the handy arcane abstracts which I have designed, but you catch my drift. They'll fight the most obvious target, always fry first, and then they've got a, he gestures at the front end of the creature, veritable buffet of attacks to choose from, real quick. But other than the breath weapon, they gotta get close. They ain't what you call scholars, but they do have a passing understanding of Draconic. And he comes up to the edge of the arena where you guys are all there, and he says, "Any questions?" And he flurls his cape.
I'm so confused. Were we supposed to learn something from that?
What just happened? Oh,
Was
I
it some
froze my arm,
sort
you
of
can't see it.
educational fight?
Novitiate, what just happened here was that I demonstrated the next level of combat simulation. I mean, and you can see, like, he's really hurt. I mean, what happened was not just exactly simulated. But the creature behind him is not a living chimera. And he's holding these 3 blazing arcane discs. Anything else you guys want to ask? Or
How far away is he from us?
I'd say, like, Zrill and Ripley are pretty close. They're about, like, 15 feet. You're maybe, like, about 20, 30 feet.
Can I move in closer and use the little thing?
Sure. All right. As you do, as I mentioned, he's wearing blue goggles, and you can just feel like the focus on the eye of the tiger is not getting through those. However, the arcane discs he's holding are swirling with erasure power.
Oh. Girrardo, Zrill, Ripley, the discs, they lit up when I looked through the monocle. I think he might be our guy.
What are those discs?
Oh,
These
here.
are the arcane abstracts. I have been working on them for years. And as you can see, I have finally come to the culmination of my my work. We can pop them into, I mean, the whole building of the creature is a whole thing that the Department of Defense has been working on. But yeah, this is like the thing I wanted you all to see today.
Bookmaster Gordo, do the goggles have anything to do with the discs? Can you show us those?
Oh, he says no. He says, Girrardo, as you know, not everybody here at the library has a lot of magic at their disposal. So I wear my little goggles to help me identify things from time to time. Would you like to have a look? Roll a perception. A persuasion check.
Absolutely, I would. That sounds fascinating to me, Girrardo. Who are you, Gordo?
Gordo. Gordo.
Who am I?
And I have the monocle, like, just ready, just waiting.
I rolled a 14.
Okay. You could tell he was debating between, like, I'll show you how they work, show me something to identify, or I will show you the goggles. And he decides, okay. All right, but he still holds them. And as you do that, roll a perception check.
Okay.
Me or?
Yeah, you, Aunt, sorry. I was looking at you, couldn't you tell?
I rolled an 18.
Yeah. As you look at Flash Gordo's eyes, you see the sort of swirling erasure. You see the words that sort of pass over his eyes, words like forget, ignore, apathy. He shows you the goggles. He's like, okay, that's enough. and he puts them back. You should look into again. They're quite handy. You can only work once a day, but that's enough.
It does sound fascinating. I will be looking into those. Thank you.
I think that is enough questions. Thank you very much, my friends. Thank you, Smo. And I shall retire, and we will convene again. And he heads back towards one of the lifts, which starts to take him down.
I gather everybody together and I say, I saw the whites of his eyes and he's our man. He lit up like fireworks when I looked through that monocle.
Not Flash.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Bookmaster Gordo.
We need to get back to Master Soka and let her know and talk to Smo Spiderwick as well.
Yeah, we should probably check. Yes, head librarian Spiderwick, because they could be involved.
Yeah.
So at the moment, it looks like Smo is staying at the box seat, and actually you can see that Flash Gordo has emerged from below the arena on the far end and is now heading up to the box seats to speak to Smo.
We've got to get there before he does.
Bookmaster Soka, can you take us?
She goes, well, yes, of course I can. Let's we will head underneath the arena. That's the fastest way to get there. And she leads you back to that door that you had seen Girrardo earlier, as or all of you with the good passive perceptions, that goes underneath the arena. Let me just... Okay. You go through these double doors, and you can see that there are skylights directing lights from sort of the outside into this area. Otherwise, it's quite dark. So they're a bit like spotlights every 30 feet or so. It smells a bit like animals, hay, and water. And as you descend the ramp with Master Soka, you see to either side of you large spaces with big lifts that can ascend to the floor of the arena above. And as you come down, these are not the lifts that Gordo and the, we'll call it the Mecha Chimera, had used. So those are at the far end of the arena. And for about 200 meters, 600 feet, there's not much other than a corridor that goes underneath the arena, about 20 feet wide. The floor is packed earth, the walls and roof are arched stonework. Towards the end of the tunnel, you begin to pass by stables. Large stalls, really, almost 20 to 30 feet wide, like for big things. Each of those has a double door, and they're like those quarter doors that you would see in a barn, like they'll open up in the bottom and also at the top. And the top has bars, so you can see in, although the bottom are solid. And finally, just as you get to the ramp that ascends up and out on the far side, you notice the stalls you're passing aren't entirely empty. You catch a glimpse through one of them, of another white structure inside it. And on the other side, there is a stall that's actually clearly in use as a room. So you can see tables and books inside it. And then the next set of stalls, there's, there's one that totally has a real chimera in it. And you can see that there is one. And the other one is, just as you go past it, you can see that there's armor and weapons inside it. So those are the 4 room stalls that seem to have anything in it. And then there are the lifts. And you can see that the lift on the right has the Mecha Chimera that's been pulled down from the arena. And then a ramp that goes up and out towards the box seat. So I am going to give you a chance to determine what you would like to do next, party, whether you heroes would like to investigate these rooms that you have discovered underneath, or whether you are ready to head up the ramp to see if you can apprehend Gordo before he talks to Smo Spiderwick. And that's where we will take our break.
Hey.
All right, you know what that means. That is it for Act 1. We are going to take a 10-minute break, so now is your chance to grab a drink, stretch your legs, reflect on the adventure so far. Will our heroes stop Flash Gordo? Will Girrardo's heart grow 3 sizes? And will Terry have more misfortunes befall him? Stay tuned to find out. Also, be sure to check out the minis on YetiMinis.com, including the giveaway mini, the Elder Obelix, and we will see you right back here for Act 2 in about 10 minutes. Onward, heroes!
Grab a rum.
It's a rum.
A big gulp.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the second act of Pages and Mages, Episode 10, The Eye of the Tiger, Part 2. And a friendly reminder to my brave volunteers, you now have another squeak available for this act. Now, the effect is the same as before, so use some strategy and some comedic timing. You know, do your thing. But that's enough for me. Let's get back to it. Onward, heroes!
Woo!
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
Ellen.
Okay, so to set the scene, you have just walked underneath the arena in the sort of dark, spotlighted area beneath there. There are sort of 4 big stalls that have stuff in them, and 2 lifts in the sort of a lobby area, kind of below a ramp that goes on up. What do you want to do?
I, for one, am concerned for Schmo's safety. I feel like we need to head over there before Flash Gordo gets over there. He might mean her harm. We don't know.
What if Smo is involved?
I'm looking longingly at the one that has all the weapons in it.
Zrill sort of touches the door, and it does swing open.
I run inside.
Okay, Zrill's not a part of this planning, apparently.
Guys, there's so much stuff in here. I come out like laden with weapons, and then I run back in for more.
There's basically every regular weapon and armor in there, as well as a lot of costumes and wigs and things like that. It's wardrobe and armory. You know, there's things like might be handy for you people like you, like a chain shirt, which gives you good medium armor that doesn't disadvantage your stealth. There's also I don't know, how long are you spending in here? You just came in, you grabbed a thing, and you ran back out?
I grabbed stuff and then I went back in because I didn't know. I just grabbed the first things and I was like, maybe I should actually look at things.
Okay, and how about you guys out there? Are you doing anything about your concerns that you need to keep moving? You see Zrill head back into the wardrobe.
I do feel like time is of the essence here. Like we need.
You do bring up a good point, though, that we don't really know where Schmo stands in all of this.
Because we could, if we go in and interrupt Flash Gordo from talking to Schmo, then we could end up fighting 2 people instead of 1, and they're both quite powerful.
Sorry, I'm so confused here. What, we're talking about fighting that guy? Did you see what he did to that?
Also, why I don't think we should be maybe fighting him, and maybe just investigating if Smo is involved and aid the. Is Smo? What is Smo again? What?
Smo Spiderwisk is the head librarian.
Yes.
Gnome.
She is a gnome. She is kind of ancient for a gnome, but very spry. Girrardo would know that she sort of tends toward the bardic kind of powers.
If the corruption goes all the way up to Schmo Spiderswisk, I think we're all in deep trouble.
We're gonna need Lumen's help for sure.
Yes.
So, but
Master Soka, what do you think?
Oh yeah, right. I forgot you were there.
Her ears are open, and she's walking around the mechanical chimera and sort of like kicking it with her very beautiful pointed boot, and she says, "Who's Lumen?"
Oh.
Yeah,
All right. Keep your secrets,
Mhm.
Quartermaster.
Mhm.
But I don't know how I feel about you talking about fighting Smo and Flash. But if there is a problem and they are corrupted with something evil, do you think we should find out first of all if
Yes.
that's what's going on, and then capture them? And then we need to like call a meeting with all of the other bookmasters and maybe hold them in
See?
exaltation. That's the best place to hold them. which
See,
is,
that's
as you
why
know,
you're a
the
bookmaster.
Snake Fortress.
You got all the great ideas.
Well, I mean, at this point, she says, it took us a long time. I mean, I know we booked it. It took us a while to get all the way underneath this arena. We saw Gordo heading up. He's definitely up there with Smo now in the box seats. So up to you. Do we want to go talk to him up there, see what's going on?
Yes.
Or wait for somebody to come down here and ambush him?
These forklifts, these lifts, do they come all the way under? Like Flash has to come all the way down?
So you
Get
did like
off of it?
he came down with the Chimera. The Chimera is still like disabled and on its lift.
Yeah.
And it's pretty close to the ramp. So he came down, headed up the ramp, and then that ramp
I
then
see.
leads to the box seat that overlooks the arena.
I think we have to go up.
Yeah.
Not as a confrontation, as a reconnaissance.
Well, I think we need to. Yes, we don't necessarily have to go in guns a-blazing, so
No.
to speak.
Will we
but
make
whatever
A
gun
story like yours about His Excellency or whatever we've got going on with that, we're here to
Yes.
meet the bookmaster. Yeah? Is that
Introduce His Excellency of Vilmater. Yeah, that seems like a wise plan.
This sounds great. How are you guys all doing health wise? You all feeling up to snuff?
Not great.
is. I've been better.
Okay. I'm just gonna use a little bit of healing word here. So it's all creatures that I can see within range. I'm assuming Zrill is still like sort of visible.
You hear like a clatter of stuff, and Zrill comes out with 2 daggers strapped to either ankle and a bunch of darts and a cool vest.
Okay, excellent. All right, so it's 1d4 plus my spellcasting modifier. So we've got it is 7 plus 2. That is
9.
9 points of healing.
Oh, I feel so much better.
I feel so much better. It's now or never.
All right.
I gotta say, you probably saw a really cool looking shield in there that had it was iron and it had a mammoth carved on it.
It did. Zrill runs back. I go and get it.
Right.
This one?
Yeah. It's gonna take a while before it does anything for you, but let's just make a note that you've got it.
I'm a 2-handed fighter. I don't tend to use a shield
You
very much.
don't? Okay. Then it
yeah.
clatters to the ground.
Can I pick it up? Girrardo, here. You might need this.
I mean, probably not, but I can carry it for you if that's helpful.
Yeah,
I'll put it to my back.
Okay,
like a turtle.
Shouldn't be wandering up to see Flash Gordo with his treasures on your back. I mean,
No.
Zrill takes off the daggers.
you guys got a lot to learn in the
best.
spy department.
I'm sorry, Bookmaster Soka. I'm having a really off day. It's been very strange.
Girrardo, what is up with you?
Yeah, I walked into some fog and it's just not been the same. I really need a
Your
nap.
secrets,
That's really it.
Quartermaster. Okay.
Zrill
me how
keeps the darts, by the way. She gets rid of the things you can see, but she keeps the darts.
The daggers, the darts. You got it. You got them. Okay.
Take off the vest.
Tell me, any particular way you're approaching this ramp up and out? Any particular marching order, or shall we just narrate it from here?
Let's get Bookmaster Soka in front with, let's put Ripley up there. Ripley.
Yes.
Bookmaster
Highness.
Soka's going to introduce you, and we will follow behind.
Bookmaster
Highness.
Soka puts out her hand. She says, "May I, Your Excellency?"
Yes, of course.
So she takes her hand. All right. So the two of you, the Soka and Ripley, are going up first, and
Yes.
then
I'm going to separate my beard into 3 parts and just get them ready.
okay.
I will follow I will follow in behind them.
Okay.
Middle of the pack, Newfer.
And I'll follow behind Girrardo.
Right.
And I'm at the back because I'm trying to hide the daggers underneath my pant legs.
Okay. As you Bookmaster Soka opens the doors. Doesn't seem anything special about these. They're just big creature doors, and you see that now you're out again in the light, filtered through the jeweled stained glass above, and the ramp. It was all packed earth underground that you were on, and now it's sort of a wooden ramp that curves around and to the left, and actually like sort of a beautiful sort of swoopy shell sort of spiral to a platform that overlooks the arena. And the platform is fairly simple. I'm doing everything out of order. Let's see where it is. Okay, there we go. So there's some colorful sailcloth that provides a bit of privacy, and you imagine that sometimes this roof is open as well, like the jeweled roof, so be a little bit of shelter in that case and shade. It gives a commanding view of the arena from the far end of it where you entered. There is a comfortable, long upholstered bench with a table in front of it, a low table. But Smo Spiderwisk is sitting on a simple, tall stool overlooking the railing of the box seats with a bistro table beside her. And there's a book that's open upon that bistro table. She, as I mentioned, is an older lady gnome. Her hair and eyes are these bright white, peaked, very structured, like she must use a lot of mousse or something. And she has deep wrinkles in her pink skin and very sharp topaz eyes. She's dressed as though for battle. She has crimson robes over a deep red breastplate and a rapier at her side. She has sort of gas burner blue highlights on her vambraces and boots as though they're magical. Flash Gordo is beside her, and she is saying, "Well done, Defense Master." And you see that she sort of says, when she says "well done" in this way, that Flash heals from like many of the wounds that he'd had before. Her eyes narrow a little, just sort of assessing you as you come up. Bookmaster Soka, visitor, quartermaster, acquisitor, novitiate, and our visitor, she inclines her snowy head politely. Tell me about what this is and what this means.
Yeah, I'm just here to introduce myself.
Bookmaster Soka says, "This is His Excellency, and I believe he is the best person to explain."
Yeah, my
visit.
name's Ripley Creed. I'm an emissary from the monastery of Ilmater, and I'm here to establish deeper relations between the Temple of Ilmater and the library here in Candlekeep. So, we're so glad to finally strengthen our relations here. We've got a bunch of really interesting scrolls that I'm sure your library would be interested in. Yeah, they're some choice material for sure.
Oh, always interested in a scroll. Who was it, Mr. Creed, that you corresponded with, since it wasn't myself to arrange the visit?
That would be me, and I poke my head out. I've been working very closely with His Excellency here in the hopes of acquiring some of these said scrolls. So I was hoping that we could establish a meeting with you, and you get to meet His Excellency, and His Excellency gets to meet you.
acquisition.
Knew this was gonna happen.
Dear. Oh dear.
Hello, hello. We have our first squeak for Max 2, and it is from Scout, which means Ripley. You, once again, your index
excellent.
finger becomes a whip of thorns.
Yeah, excellent job there,
So
Scout.
do
Thank
what
you.
you like with that
Yeah.
information, and onward, heroes!
Perfect timing.
Within what is the range again? 30 feet of you. We have your party, Bookmaster Soka, Flash Gordo, the head librarian of Candlekeep, to choose from.
Okay, so Ripley once again starts dry heaving his light. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
oh,
This
um,
happens
Smoke
every
gets
once in a
down before you, and she's like, "Your Excellency, what is going on?" And she will heal you. She casts Healing Word. I think you will take 5 healing.
Okay,
But-
that's really helpful. I'm so sorry to do this, and the thorns come whipping out, and I'm gonna pick Master Soka.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay. So this
I'm sorry, she's
thorny
right
whip
there.
Oh yeah.
comes out of Ripley Creed's finger, and you have to roll a spell attack as it attempts to wrap around her. So you roll a d20,
gosh.
no modifier.
Okay, 14.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh.
Just a sec. Okay. Yeah, so she will take 1d6 piercing. Would you like to do the honors?
Sure.
Oh.
This is the one of you
it's,
that wasn't
it's
hurt.
5. It's 5.
and you can see that like it just gets on top of her like nice leather boots and digs into her calf where it draws blood and then pulls her towards you, Ripley, and she kind of swoops up towards you and she's like, "This is highly irregular."
I'm so sorry.
Mr.
It's I've got this really bad bug. I think it's something I ate. The concessions down there. I'm not used to this exotic food of it's just there's so much.
Okay, roll a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Okay. It's 4.
Okay. Let me finish my gripe while I think about what's going to happen here. Okay.
Can Zrill go and start trying to like unwind Bookmaster Soka?
So you're going to
Just-
try to... Yeah, you're going to try to, like, make it look a little bit better. Okay.
Trying to get the vine off.
Yep.
While this is all happening, I pull out the monocle and I have a quick peek at.
Okay. There is definitely a lot of distraction happening.
Yeah.
So good at that.
So let's do that first. And give me a perception check. I mean, you're pretty close, but there's a lot happening. So I want one to sort of get an idea.
15.
Okay. And who are you looking at first?
I'm looking at Spider
Whisk?
Whisk.
Whisk. We can
That's
call
a
her Master
mouthful.
Spider Whisk. It does feel, yeah. As you look at her eyes, beyond her topaz pupils, or rather irises, you again see the words empty, ignorance,
Oh, no.
apathy, ignore. All right, so let's just circle back to the whole Thorn Whip incident. And already Soka's having some trouble with your whole approach here. She's rolling an insight check, which she rolled a 1 on, my friends. So she's like, okay, look, Your Excellency, I feel that there's something worse here than you just didn't need to be healed. It must be worse than just the food here that we have for you. We must take you. I mean, I'm sure you stopped in at the house, like at our temple there in the court of Heir to Ogma, the house of the Finder. We have some of the best clerics, and I really feel that we need to do that for you. Smo Spiderwisk is taking all this in, and she says, well, it's clear there's more going on than just a simple visit here, isn't there, Master Girrardo? And Master Girrardo says, boss, I have my feelings. And you see her sort of touch her ear, and you notice that there's like an iron coil all the way around it. And she's just taking a moment looking at Flash. What would you like to do?
I'm going to use my cantrip of message, and I'm going to say to Master Soka in her mind, the corruption goes to its highest level. I just spied Bookmaster Spider's Whisk, and she too carries the corruption. Beware and be on your guard.
We're all too close together for me to be messaging safely. You just hear her sort of say quietly back to you. And I'll let anybody who has a... Yeah, so Ripley, Girrardo, and Zrill, you all know, you realize that when Smo touched the wire ear, that she was also messaging at that point. And so there was a lot happening right in that scene. I want to give everybody a chance again to sort of, we've got something that Ant has done. Girrardo, what would you like to do at this point?
I would like to grab my underneath my robes. I imagine that I went and sort of had my hands tucked in my robes a little bit as we walked up in sort of a non-threatening stance. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see if I can grab my amulet under my robes, my applause amulet, mm-hmm. and say, "Come to me."
Excellent. Okay. So, for those who may not remember, applause is a vaguely cursed item that gives Girrardo control over a swarm of crawling hands that was deep in Candlekeep after your battle with a Nothic. And so you called the hands. Noted.
Oh dear.
Zrill, is there anything that you would like to do at this point?
I'm really torn. I've been waiting to meet Flash Goater for so long, and I know that he's not, but I rush forward and I'm disappearing, and I shake his hand, and I introduce myself. I was like, "Hi, Bookmaster Girrardo. I've been waiting to meet you for so long. My name is Zrill, and I'm a novitiate here, and I would love to talk to you about weapons and how you made that cool the chimera that wasn't a chimera. Yeah, we can totally do that. In fact, I think we will all go have a visit downstairs." And Smo says, "Yes, I think that would be best." And she touches Flash on the arm, and she says, "Fear frames disorder, and disorder wounds where it should guard." When you see Flash straighten his shoulders, Ripley, is there anything that you would like to do?
Here.
I'm gonna cast Bless real quickly.
At this point, any chaos you do is just sort of feeding into their whole the Excellency just needs a good sit down with a good cleric and... Okay, so you're casting Bless. Who are you casting Bless upon?
I'm using a 3rd level spell slot, so I'm going to cast it on Girrardo, and Zrill.
Okay. Note your Bless. So, yeah.
What does Bless do?
It's whenever a target makes an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends. So it's for 1 minute. All of your attack rolls or saving throws, you roll a d4 and add that number to your attack roll or your saving throw.
Bookmaster Soka says, yes, are we all proceeding back downstairs then? Gordo, please lead the way. And Smo says,
Oh, no.
yes.
Squeak.
He says, hi, Alan.
Hi, hello, we have a squeak. And that is from Ninja Space Pig, which means it is for Ant, our friend Ant. You got a bunch of beetles coming out of your robes again, my friend.
Well, this might be the time.
So good luck and onward, heroes.
All right, so you have, or I'm just double checking your range again, 30 feet. I
Yep.
mean, it's the usual suspects at this point. Who would you like to direct those beetles towards?
Oh, Flash Gordo.
Okay. So these beetles swirl out, and he's got to give you, I believe, a Constitution save. Oh, which he succeeds at, unfortunately. And so you see the beetles just sort of like, they take a bite of this goblin calf and just fall away. You can see little staticky words and letters sort of at their little tiny beetle mouths, and they all pass away. So at this point, having taken such an action against who you're viewing as an enemy, we're gonna have to roll initiative.
Oh.
So I have pre-rolled my guys. Anybody over 20?
I got a 21.
Nice.
I got a
So-
20.
Okay, so 21 for Ant
Yeah.
and Zrill.
20.
That was a 20. Nicely done. Okay, and then anybody over 15? Anybody? Okay. Girrardo, what'd you roll?
7.
7 for Girrardo. And what did you roll, Ripley?
4.
Okay, it's okay. Clerk should always go last. All right, so we've got Flash and Zrill, Girrardo. Soka's in there. Ripley and Girrardo. Okay. So, at that moment, Smo Spiderwisk, you can see sort of shrinks in and stretches as though you actually kind of reminds you a little bit of how you travel between the worlds. She swoops into a tiny pinpoint that like stretches out into unnatural proportions, and she dimension doors away. It is then Flash Gordo's turn. And he is going to leap towards the doors down below, towards the underground. And you see him using all of his movement to run away. Now, I realize that's giving everyone an attack of opportunity. So Whoever would like to roll your attack of opportunity first, go ahead.
Girrardo very quickly has a dagger in his hand and goes to flash him as he runs by.
Okay.
And that's a
Roll
natural
your
20.
attack. What? Oh my gosh. Okay, so roll your damage. Obviously that hits.
6 points.
Okay.
So
Yep.
we can do melee attack?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I forgot. Is there anything additional to a critical hit here?
You double your dice.
Oh, I would like to add some dice to what I just rolled.
Okay.
In addition,
An additional 7 points. 13 total.
Girrardo, Jason has squeaked for you. Therefore, you
God
also
damn it, Jason.
have a sudden urge for a hug. Onward, heroes.
I hate this hair. I really want to hug Ant again. Man, that was
Sure.
a great hug earlier.
I'll always take a hug from you, Girrardo.
Stop,
You big softy.
So, as a reminder there, Ant, you get advantage on constitution checks, and you have 1d6 temporary hit points for the next hour.
And you would like me to roll that?
Sure. Do I still have the 6 from the previous hug? Because
Yeah.
you say it lasts an hour, right?
Yeah, I feel like that wasn't a whole hour of demonstration. Yes.
Alright.
I'll give you 5 more.
Excellent.
Otherwise, I would have given you kind of a short rest, but okay. It all evens out in the end. Okay. So that was Girrardo's attack of opportunity. Let's go to Ant's attack of opportunity.
I cast Firebolt right away.
Okay, I guess I should be doing this in order. But cast your firebolt, and is that a save or an attack?
It's an attack roll.
Hit roll your attack.
That's a 24 to hit.
That hits.
Oh,
My goodness.
Or 3 points of damage.
It's great.
It all counts. Sort of flames lick against like his iron boots just as you see him disappearing between the doors.
Well, he is Flash Gordo.
He is. Yeah.
hard to shoot when I'm hugging you.
So then we have Zrill.
Okay. I'm gonna try to swipe at him with my longsword.
Okay.
Ooh. A 24. Not
That
natural.
hits.
But
Holy cow, you guys.
redeem myself from last game.
Yeah.
I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Okay. Ooh, 11 points of slashing.
Wow. Oh my goodness. All right. So there's like just this volley as the goblin tries to get away. Ripley, what do you do for your attack of opportunity?
I'm gonna whip out my spiritual weapon. Flaming sword. Spectral flaming sword appears, and I'm gonna.
I'm not sure you can cast as a reaction unless you have Warcaster. Because this is your
I guess
reaction
not.
that you've got. So you can either attack with like a weapon, or if you are a Warcaster as a feat.
Okay. All right.
Because otherwise, yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
In that case, I will cast Guiding Bolt.
Again, it's a spell.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So you have to do like a melee weapon unless you have the Warcaster feat.
Okay, well, I don't have a lot of melee weapons.
That's okay. You can just hit him with your fist.
Eh.
Jim.
You know, I've got a mace. Let me try my mace attack.
Trip him.
This is why you have a mace.
I guess technically speaking, I could have cast Firebolt then.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Ant. I forgot all about that. Yeah,
know
so
With that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to attempt to grapple him?
Yes, I think a grapple is an attack. Let me just. Yes, let's say you can.
I know it's an action, but I don't know.
Yep. This is grapple and attack.
Ant and Ripley try to grapple at the same time. Take them down.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. It's a melee attack in a way. So
It's just a straight strength.
Yep.
All right.
And then we'll do your mace attack.
I got a 14 for my grapple.
Yep, you won.
Did I really? So this little gnome is like got this goblin in a half Nelson.
Yeah, so you've got Flash Gordo. We've had a couple. Now, Ripley, you still have an opportunity to make an attack upon him.
I'm gonna mace him in the face
Oh!
Okay.
with a real mace. And that is boy. Oh, it's a dirty 20
There you go. That's a hit.
Damn.
Solid face mace.
for 5 points of damage.
Right. So, Gordo goes to like leap away. And we have everybody with a weapon reaming on him, and Ant goes, sweeps him up, mace in the face, and you now have him held. So those were all of your reactions. We actually get to go through initiative order at this point. So we've got Flash took his turn. Sad for Flash. And now we've got Ant. What do you want to do?
I reach into my pack and I pull out my hempum rope and I tie up his hands and his feet.
Okay. Hold on a second. Yes, so you do that. You can do that in your turn.
Okay.
Anything else that you want to do? Any movement? You could drag him if you want.
I drag him next to Bookmaster Soka, and I say,
Okay.
Bookmaster, where can we keep him that he won't be a harm to anybody until we can get some information out of him?
This is a good question. Let me think about it. And we will go to Zrill.
Feels really bad to just hit a man when he's down.
What do you want to do? You don't have to keep attacking him if you don't want to. I mean, you can do other stuff.
Just kind of my wheelhouse is just hitting things, so I don't really. How can I help? What can I do? I sit on him.
I'll let you. Okay. Yeah, great idea.
I know I'm a gnome, but I have a chainmail on that weighs more than me, so it's a little. There's some weight to it, and a warhammer.
Where did Spider Whisk go?
She's gone. She dimension doored
Greetings,
away.
friends. As you sit on him, you also feel the magic flow through your hair, bursts into flames, and you have that uncontrollable urge. You have an eye on your forehead, and that urge to make little triangles with your hands. Our final squeak. Thank you to Marcia, and onward, heroes.
Thanks, Marcia.
Do you want to look to see if you can see where Smo went?
Sure. Is that what I can do?
You can look really well.
Oh, I have to look through the triangle?
Sure, yeah.
I look really hard.
Roll a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
Okay,
Whoa.
nice. You see that the little form of Smo Spiderwick has appeared almost all the way at the other end of the arena. So she's like popped out about 500 feet. So she is boogieing out of the arena at the far end, so where the entrance was.
Everyone,
Okay,
she's way
so-
over there.
That is, but we're gonna make that your turn instead of sitting, okay? Because that was
okay.
a big check. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So that, and you've called out where we're going, and it is now Soka's turn, and she is going to say, "Are you? I mean, If Smo is corrupted, I can't think of a place other. I mean, we could go take him to. I don't know. Your choice. Either the House of the Binder. Take him to a temple. I don't know. Just in the Court of Air out there. Or we could take him to Exaltation. I mean, that's where most of you sleep, and it's the fortress within a fortress. We could. Those are my options. And she's like, she also like looks down at Girrardo, and she's like, I'm not gonna hit him. But we gotta fix this somehow. That's Soka's turn. Girrardo, what do you want to do?
Sorry, you have Girrardo how, Ant?
Well, he's bound now. I've used hempen rope to tie his hands and his feet.
Okay. Can't leave this guy here. We got to take him with us. At least if we're gonna chase after them, after Smo, we got to take him. And I think I'm gonna try and have. He's a goblin, right? He's quite small.
He's small. He's wearing a lot of armor, but I know. So
I'm gonna heft him on my shoulder and say, "Let's go."
Okay, excellent. Ripley.
Would you say Smo is more than 120 feet away from us?
Yeah, she's over 500 feet away.
Oh, bummer. Okay, well, I'm just gonna start running. I don't.
Okay. So I imagine you are running back underneath the arena. It's hard to get to the arena itself from this point. It would be like a weird thing, like you go up these stairs and you're on the platform. Up to you, though.
Just with that in mind, Bookmaster Soka, can we leave Flash Girrardo in your good hands while we give pursuit to Spiderwisk?
Sure.
What if we put him in one of the big cells?
Down below?
Yeah.
Well, that's a possibility.
And then we like close the door with magic.
Okay.
Or an immovable rod.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, Ripley, we're running, right? So just clarifying where we're running on your turn, because we are still in initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Girrardo is still grappled, and he would prefer not to be. And at this moment, as you've come down the stairs, heading underneath the, about to go through the double doors, and underneath, I think that's about where you would get on all of your turns. There is suddenly this flash of pyrotechnic color. It's really just brightness, but it happens like right where you all are. So everybody needs to give me a saving throw of the Constitution variety.
Oh, and I have advantage on that because of the...
I'm hugging you.
Yeah. Because of the hugging.
You guys also still have bless, so you're adding a d4 to your rolls.
Okay.
Thank you. It's not gonna help.
Okay. The DC is fairly low. It's 12. Did anybody fail?
I rolled a 12.
So that passes.
Yeah.
It looks like Girrardo's the only one who failed, and let's see how Soka does.
Should have taken that shield.
He failed too.
I don't know if it would have helped.
So Bookmaster Soka puts her hands up to her eyes, and Girrardo, you are also blinded. Okay, so it is going to be difficult for Girrardo to continue to carry Girrardo, and Girrardo is also going to, because he's got multi-attack, he's going to try to get out. He's going to roll an athletics check. Oh, please, buddy. Oh, no, that's a 16. Okay. Okay, so that's a 21. So I'm going to say that that's enough to break the rope.
Okay.
So he has burst out of the rope at this point, but that's all he's got to be able to do on his turn. So it is now Ant's turn.
I will cast Magic Missile at the second level on him as my beard separates into 4 points, and 4 missiles fly out of the tips of each of my 4 beard parts.
Okay.
And he's going to take 19 points of force damage.
No way!
Yes.
Holy cow! All right, he is hurt.
Oh my god, what's he doing out there?
Yeah, and he is just cursing and writhing in your hands, very unpleased with what's happening. Zrill, it's your turn.
Since he's still like awkwardly held, would I be able to bind him again?
You can try to. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the rope out of my bag, hog tie him.
Okay. All right. So I'll let that happen since he's grappled, and you've got now like this 2 layers of protection around him, both the rope and the grapple. Okay.
Am I
Tell
also
me where
able
you
to
are
take
continuing
him?
to move on your. You want to take
Am
him?
I also able to take him from Girrardo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I bind him and then hoist him onto my shoulder.
Fair enough. Yep. You transfer him to Zrill,
Or bear hug him.
unless Girrardo resists.
Girrardo is confused about a lot of things right now. I think he'll let it happen.
I got him, Girrardo!
Iranisoka says, I can't see. Somebody help me. I would just keep plowing forward, but I'm gonna need somebody to help me.
I grab her hand and guide her down the stairs. I don't know.
Nice, thank you, Ripley. Okay, it is Girrardo's turn.
Same Z's.
Hands on shoulders.
Yeah, I got you guys. Everything's fine.
Okay, and anything else you want to do, Girrardo?
I'm going to I'm gonna tell my amulet chase Smo.
Okay.
I don't know if they're around or not or what's going on, but
Mm-hmm.
I chase her.
You command
Chase her
it.
down.
Cool. Cool. All right. Ripley.
Yeah, like I don't really think there's anything else to do. Are we putting him in? Are we still trying to get Gordo?
I imagine you're continuing to move through the double doors and underneath.
Okay, yeah. Then yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You've got your work cut out for you because you're helping the 2 blinded individuals at this point getting down. So, okay. And we come back up to Flash's turn. He's going to do it again. Suddenly there's like this pyrotechnic burst around you, and I need everybody to give me a Constitution saving throw. DC again is 12.
Do we have Bless still, or was that a one-time?
No, it's around for a minute, so I don't know how long this has been.
Yeah, no, each round is 6 seconds, and it's only been around, so.
13.
13 as well.
15.
15.
30, 21.
Everybody passes this time, and it would have lifted by this point. It only lasts a turn.
Okay. Oh.
So you guys managed to clear it, and you can still see like the purple and pink sort of zigzags from the pyrotechnics left behind your eyelids. But he's still going to try to get out. And he rolls a 25. He bursts the ropes again, and he is struggling in Zrill's arms. Okay.
I have him upside down also, because it seemed more disorienting.
Okay. So, I'd say at this point, you were all down and into the bottom of the Colosseum. You're coming down that packed earth ramp. There's the lifts on either side, and again, the 4 stalls ahead of you. Where are you heading towards? We're all still in initiative, but just let me know sort of as a group what your idea is and if anybody's splitting up.
Trying to go towards the nearest empty cell.
Okay. So we will say that you come through where the lifts are. You see on the one side on your left, there's the Mecha Chimera still on the lift. You get to about where the stalls are. So there is the armory. So that's full of stuff on your right. And then there is the stall that had a live chimera in it on your left. So at this point, we will go back to, who did we leave at? It was Flash's, right? So it's Ant's turn. What are you doing? So your next, like, honestly, you're not near an empty stall yet.
I'm gonna magic missile him again.
You're gonna missile him again?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fun ride, Zrill.
Yeah. Nervous he's gonna roll a 1.
So he takes 11 points of damage.
Amazing.
Yeah, right. Magic missile auto
Yeah,
hits. Right?
they just automatically hit. Yeah.
Oh, right. So were those gonna go wrong and hit me?
No, it can't. All right. Zrill.
So we're near the live chimera cage?
Yep.
Do we put him in?
Yes.
Oh! Okay, I can't open the door though. That's the problem. Can't hit him. There's not much I can do.
Can I go open the door?
Well, it is technically at the moment we have Karinsaeo. She's an NPC. She's happy to let somebody else go. Girrardo, it's your turn next. Then it'll be Ripley.
If Zrill could, once I open the door, toss him in, I would put the immovable rod on the outside of the door.
Do like a joint turn?
Can we do a hold action?
Yes. Okay. So what is Girrardo is holding the action of opening the gate on his turn? What I would like to do with my turn is open the gate, slam the gate, put the immovable rod on. That's what I would like to do.
So he would open the gate, and then my turn would be throw Flash in, and then.
Okay. Well, you know what Soka does on her turn. Rogue that she is, she goes and she checks seeing the plan. She goes and checks that door, and she's like, "This is locked."
Should have thought of that. I would. Then if it is my turn, I would like to
try
fast hands. Oh yeah, she's a rogue. Do it.
She'll try to unlock it.
Okay.
Teamwork all over the place.
Oh god, this is so complicated.
So.
I wish someone had sleep.
Yeah, she fails on this one. She goes, "This is a pretty tough lock. Nothing magic, nothing bad happened to me, but it's tough luck."
Okay, can I try to tie him up again then?
It's Girardo's turn.
I will use bonus action fast hands to try and use my thieves' tools to open a lock.
Okay, roll your
24.
Nice. It falls open.
Yep.
So you've got the ability to throw it in.
Okay.
And
and will I be able to put the immovable rod in?
Is fast hands a bonus action?
It is.
Yes.
Excellent. So to open the gate, Zrill throws him in. I slam the gate shut and put the immovable rod over where the lock was.
I'd like to just cool your jets a little and ask for an athletics check from Zrill.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
That would be a dirty 21.
You were worried. All right. awesome, man. And he's like, whoa! And he's like, not the live chimera! And you toss him in there and you put the immovable rod.
Yeah. Where the lock
Okay.
was.
You guys all hear.
Let's see how you do against this chimera.
So, we'll come out of initiative. And at this point, Soka's gonna look at you all and you're like, you just want him to die in there? Like, I am here for this, but let's just all think this is what we're doing, is it?
It was just going to take so long to get to the empty cell, and I didn't want him to get away, and I thought he was probably going to get away. We couldn't put him in the weapon one.
I'm okay with it. He's obviously bad.
All right. Hardcore. You all on board with this? And?
Well, unless you can come up with a better way of keeping him restrained and in our possession.
His Excellency, you okay with it?
Well, you know, Ilmater teaches forgiveness, but, you know, this isn't really my realm. I'm gonna leave it to you guys. This seems like a great idea.
Like, if we could just, like, put them to sleep, that would be preferable, but I don't know if we have that capability in our...
Oh,
Here.
let me try. I can put things to sleep.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know if I can do it on this. Okay. Man, I'll try it. She's gonna cast sleep. Being the arcane trickster that she is. Man, I never cast sleep. Okay, 5d8, eh? 2, 3,
It's a great spell.
5.
And hopefully you don't put the chimera to sleep.
I thought that's what I was going for. Otherwise, the chimera's going to kill him, especially if he's asleep. Anyway,
Oh, that makes
I don't
sense.
think this is going to do anything. 2, 5, 7. So you see, like, this sort of gentle wave of arcane magic sort of goes through the bars and just sort of whiffs all over the chimera. And it doesn't work. It does, however, put Master Girrardo to sleep, so perhaps he will not suffer as you see the
gosh.
chimera rear back
Oh no!
and use its breath weapon and just toast Master Girrardo. Flash in the pan.
We should probably go.
We should.
I guess that solved that
Move
problem.
on, guys.
Zrill realizes this is like her idol that she just threw to his doom. It is...
Should have grabbed those goggles before I threw them in there.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to do down here before you consider continue your pursuit of Master Spiderweb?
I'm gonna go get that cool vest and get the shield to give to Girrardo.
I still
Okay.
can't use that, but okay.
If you
I really appreciate the effort.
Who can use it?
are you moving fairly quickly, or are you taking your time to like look in the other stalls as you head out?
No, I think we should book it.
There was that one that was like a desk room sort of thing. Might wanna. Are there like important papers or things?
Zrill, I mean, you're the one who runs into rooms. Are you gonna run into the workshop?
I'm a little distraught with what I've done. So, yeah. Well, we should check this desk. What if he has notes and they have plans? And she starts just like throwing papers.
Well, whatever you're doing, do it quickly.
One of the first things you see when you head into the workshop are just 3 arcane abstracts. So like the ones that Girrardo was carrying, and one of them has a goat, a lion, and a dragon head on them. You also see a very imposing tome that has kind of like Leonardo da Vinci's drawing of man, like a person spread out. But then so there's that. There's a box of paper, and there's definitely notebooks. What do you do?
Aunt, does any of this stuff look good? Do we need this?
Let me have a look.
Is the disc things that I don't? He had the disc things, and they controlled the mech, right? Are those the disc things?
Let me have a closer look at these disc things.
An Arcana check.
23.
Yeah, these are exactly the kind of ones that he put into the heads of the Chimera. You think you probably could go and insert that into the Mecha Chimera out there and turn it on and control it this way. Yeah, so there's that.
These will definitely turn on that Chimera that we saw out in the ring that he was fighting. Do you think we need it?
I put them in my bag.
All right.
I pick up a chair, I throw it against the wall, and I run out of the room.
I'll quickly take a quick glance at these scrolls and books and just real quickly to see if there's anything that just kind of catches my eye.
Yeah. We'll go with the same Arcana check that you used. That big tome that he's got there is definitely a manual of golems.
A manual
which
of
you
golems?
know is, yeah, it's a difficult book, tough book. You've heard scary stories about it. And you notice that the box of paper that's beside it has beautiful sort of feather watermarks on it. It looks magical. And the notebooks have a lot of how he was building the mechs and making these abstracts and that kind of thing. And it does go back a long time, clearly from before the erasure started here, which is only a few days ago. And you'll have to spend some more time looking at those if you want.
Okay. They're fairly safe here though for the time being, would you say?
You have Candlekeep that is safe from what?
Well, from spider whisk. There's
Quite
no
a mover and a shaker, that lady. But
Yeah.
she's not here now. She ran.
Well, I'll grab the things with the watermarks on, and I'll leave the rest behind.
Okay, so the box of paper, note that. Do you take the arcane abstracts? That seemed to be something that you were taking.
Yeah, I think Zrill put them in her.
Okay, all right. And then you boogie on out, I imagine? Okay. So, as you streak through the darkness underneath the arena, where Flash Gordo just so short time ago showed such finesse on the battlefield, the spotlights of light coming through on what's really a beautiful day out in Candlekeep. Just seek out the head librarian herself and face the corruption of the erasure. That's where we'll end our session.
Wow.
Brutal.
Dun,
Oh,
dun, dun. Very good, very good. Well, pour one out for Flash Gordo.
Yeah.
This concludes the 10th episode of our Pages and Mages season, The Eye of the Tiger Part 2. But we have one more thing to do before we wrap things up, and that is the winner of our Yeti Minis draw.
Yeah.
So I have a D4 that I will roll, which will determine our winner. And it is a 3. That means Scout is our winner. So Scout, congratulations. Send us an email at D20initiativeYYC@gmail.com and we'll hook you up with your Yeti Mini. I will post that in the chat as well for you. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in to watch. We very much appreciate you all. A special thanks to our illustrious squeakers / volunteers, Marcia, Ninja Space Pig, Scout, and Jason.
Yay.
Thank you to Jen Gerritsen for building this chapter in our Pages and Mages extravaganza, to DJ Emma Brogger for those sweet sounds, and to this evening's excellent cast: Sarah Bannister as Zrill, Curt McKinstry as Ant, Calvin DiSilva as Ripley, and Justin Bourne as Girrardo. I was your MC, Alan, and you can tune into the next chapter of Pages and Mages on February 1st. That is our next episode, so stay safe, stay well, audience, and onward, heroes, one last time.